In today's video, we're going to be doing part 20 of What If Civilization Started Over. I can't believe we made it to part 20 already. I started about this time last year. So we've made it through 20 parts in a year. So that's kind of sad, actually. That's really sad. Let's actually see. When did I start doing Wixo? What If Civilization Started Over started in... Let's see, go to my playlists. There's already 18 parts. When Civilization Started Over, part 1 was 10 months ago. So in 10 months, we've done 20 parts. And that's crazy. This video is going to be... I'm trying to make it longer than last time, but there might be a large cut. So actually, I'm going to restart the timer and make it an hour 15, because there's going to be a large cut for when I do the worldwide military ranking, to where every single country gets a military ranking. That will be in the middle of the video, but right now we're going to start off with something that I said I was going to do last video, which is the Korean, or the Siberian-Korean War. The Korean country is at a advantage because of their capital being further away from the Siberian capital, and the Korean country being stronger than the Siberian country. But that is no big deal. Actually, it is a big deal because their capital has already been taken over, and since they are a relatively new country, this part gets taken over very easily, and the Russian part wants some of the pie, so they take a good chunk like this, even though they did nothing, and the Korean country takes most. Now, those two countries will come and play later. Come in play. Will be a good... Stuff will happen there. But right now, we are going to see two countries that get along well, sorta. The Scandinavian country and the Russian country. Okay, if you don't remember which ones those are, the Russian country is this big one that takes up a lot of the map for no reason. Go on a diet. Go on a dieting plan. You could try eating... Yeah, never mind. Forget about it. That is probably considered fat shaming, which I don't want to be known for. I don't want to get canceled this early in my career. But, as a wannabe comedian, being a wannabe YouTuber, I want to be a comedic YouTuber. So, let's... let me show you again. This is the Russian country. This is the Scandinavian country right here. So, both the blue ones right here. These two right here. They are going to unify under the rule of the Scandinavian country. Now, with this, the Scandinavian country is going to move its capital. Actually, which is very huge. About as huge as the Russian country. But no, legitimately, they moved their capital here, which is a pretty good spot. It's pretty far away from other countries to avoid conflict. And the Russian country... Oh, that's not right. I keep pressing that. I did that in part 17 as well, because I got done editing it today. But this is huge. Like, legitimately huge. Look at the size of that thing. And with this, we are also going to see them purchasing land. For this is the second purchase of land we've seen. For greater access to their other side of their country that they just, unified with. They are going to ask for land from the Turkish country, which the Turkish country are going to agree, because they're like, okay, that's fine. We don't really want to go much more north, because there wasn't really much to go there. There's going to be ice there, so you could take the land that you're wanting. The land that they were wanting is, let me get a bigger brush, is this right here. And they allow them to take it for a measly $3 million. Now, in return, the Turkish country gets this land from the used to be Russian country, and everybody is happy. So now I can erase Scandinavian-Russian unification. Wow, that is almost a tongue twister. Now the next thing is, I don't really want to do these in an order, but I can't remember what I called this country down here. I think I called it the Singaporean country. I can't fully remember, but after long talks since their war, they've been talking about this for forever. They never really fully settled on a peace treaty, but now finally they are done talking about the Java Island and the Singaporean. Was that necessary? Couldn't remember. Was that this country? Yeah, it was. Alright. The Singaporean country gets the rest of Java. And that's also something that was on my list, so I can erase that now. Singapore gets Java Island. I think I called it the Singaporean country. Correct me if I'm wrong, or I could just go look back in the videos. Also, this wasn't on my list, but China also talks the Australian country, I think is what I called it, into letting them have the rest of the Filipino islands. But yeah, that's what happens there. We're gonna move. Actually, basically everything in here has something to do with. No, it doesn't. Okay, the next thing on my list literally doesn't. So I don't know why I didn't just look there. But we're gonna see the Spanish after coming over here and invading the American soil, which I don't mind because this isn't real America. Geez, I still have an hour and 8 minutes of recording, and I've done stuff so fast. So I should probably stop doing things so quickly. Like talking, I'm talking very quickly, and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. It is 3:17 in the morning. Just so you know, just so you can know when I procrastinate, I will not edit this out of the video. I promise. I've edited it out of the video a couple times, actually. I'm recording this on April 9th, 2025. So if I procrastinate editing this video, which I most likely will because it's a very long one, I'm hopefully going to get it out before the end of May. If I don't, then it will be early June. Hopefully, but I really hope to get it before the end of May. Hopefully before the 20th of May, which is about exactly a month away. So, we're actually exactly a month and a day away, but that's besides the point. I don't know why I talk like that. I never talk like that. But the crap, why do I record these so late? Breathe. The Spanish country is going to declare war on the West African country. And that's a big no-no for the West African country, because the Spanish country are the 4th strongest and the West African country are the 12th strongest, as seen in the last video. But they do declare war on them, and that's no bueno, because since English is so hard, as I say in every single one of my videos, might as well start speaking a little bit of Spanish in them. I might start speaking Russian. I don't know how to speak Russian. Just for your information. Like, the only thing I know how to say is da. There you go. Stereotypical, and they actually don't fight bears. Believe it or not, they actually don't. I mean, you would expect them to. I mean, after it being, said so many times. I mean, but yeah, while this war goes on, speaking of talking, let's talk about stuff. How's y'all's year? Let me know in the comments below how y'all's year is going. Man, it is hard to speak Southern. I went from it's hard to speak English to it's hard to speak Southern, as in Southern English. It's actually kind of difficult. I mean, try saying oil without offending 4 people, because all of them say it a different way. It's not oil, it's oil. Sorry that you sound like you choked when speaking. Sorry if I'm offending people. I don't care. Just kidding. I love you all. And I wouldn't be this happy right now, this late at night, if it wasn't for y'all. So, please don't cancel me. It is just a joke for entertainment purposes only. This does not, show any of my beliefs in what I believe in. Not religiously, but, Waverly neighborhood? I don't know what I'm talking about. It's so late that by the time I get done editing this video, it will be 4:30. Or recording, I mean. It will be 4:30 before I get done recording. If I was to edit it as well, there would be daylight and breakfast on my desk before I got done editing. And I don't eat breakfast until it's lunchtime. But I still have part 18, as I'm recording this, I still have part 18 and part 19 to edit. Right before recording this, I edited part 17, which will go out today. But yeah, this war has been going on for a very long time. It's been maybe 7 minutes since it started. No, probably about like 5 actually. But yeah, this war is going to take a long while because it's a large country and they had to move troops from, the Americas. And I just realized I forgot to color in something, so that's going to look weird. Let's just say that I didn't get that until now. But yeah. It's not that big of a deal. It's going to look weird for the thumbnail because I already have the thumbnail, picked out. I've yet to actually post it on my channel for it to be edited. It's not like, because like I have stuff that's that's stayed private since June of last year, which I will try to also get to those over the summer, hopefully. Actually, no, July. No, there are some from June, actually. There's probably some from freaking May. I just have been procrastinating. I usually procrastinate, but I don't procrastinate that much because YouTube is not a priority. I want it to be, but it is not currently a priority in my life. Because, YouTube, it's not making me money yet. Hopefully it does. I want to start doing weather content and this, like geography and weather content, because, being quite frankly, being real with you, I want to be a meteorologist. That's my dream job. I know a lot about weather. I know a lot about velocity, like velocity maps and stuff. I'm just now getting started on learning how weather works. I mean, I want to get my degree in. I want to be a degreed meteorologist, like Max Velocity, Ryan Hall, all those guys. I want to be a degreed meteorologist. I don't know why I did that. The war's still going on. I'm going to be a degreed meteorologist and be a YouTuber at the same time. Because I just want to... My goal in life is to help as many people as I can. Which kind of just sounds like everybody's goal. Unless you're a serial killer. Or a serial number. Or a cereal box. Or Cinnamon Toast Crunch, because I'll probably kill you first. By eating you. That just sounds even worse. I'm going to continue the video. Why do I say the stuff I do? It's been 15 minutes in the recording. Actually more, because I had to restart the timer. or change the timer because I have a lot of plans and I kind of want to make this as long as I can make it. But this is where we stop and we see no peace treaty. No, we see a peace treaty happen to where the Spanish country gets a little bit of this down here. Yeah, the rest of that. And the West African country gets some of their coast back from right here. And this is the real life. Or is this just a fantasy? I don't know how the lyrics go, so I just sound stupid, I bet. I was trying to quote Queen, but it's fine. But yeah, we see something that actually took a while to happen. Is this a different shade? That looks too different. Like, why does that part look darker than this part? It's because that's a lighter color than these colors. So it makes these look, this yellow look lighter than this. I don't know. My brain is not capable of doing this stuff right now. There's a lot of stuff on my desk that could shatter. As in, there's one thing on my desk that could shatter right now. I have a globe. I forgot I had this. Let's point. Okay, actually, this is going to be the first time in Wixo history, probably. I'm going to. Well, I bet people spun a wheel. I'm going to spin the globe. And whatever. By the way, I can erase West African and Spanish War. But I'm going to spin this globe, and whatever country it lands on is whatever, like, area, country in that area that I'm going to have do something. Whether it be declare war on another country, or declare war on another country, move its capital, do something. Okay? Unless it's a country with plot armor, which I will not be telling you. There are multiple of them. Okay, that's the middle of the Pacific Ocean. That's, again, India, actually. So, India, this India right here, the green one, will decide to have Sri Lanka be their own country. Which means I have to think of a color that I can use. Which technically, I think there's so many reds on this map that you will not believe that there's a red that I could use. But there is. And I'm pretty sure the red that I want to use cannot be used because it's already being used. Oh, maybe not. Because that's the red I was wanting to use. That red, that being used. Yeah. So, Sri Lanka, as well as this portion of the country, nah, it's too close for it. So Sri Lanka gets to be its own country, and its capital is going to be where, its capital is, but it has to be like here because of it being black and the border being black. So it's yeah. But yeah, something happened there, and that was kind of a cameo, I guess you could say, from the globe that I have in my room. If I spin it again, if it's a country that is on my board over here of what's gonna happen, if it's one of those countries, then I will do that part first. Please don't be the British. It was the South Asian country, which, nothing. The equator. Yeah, I just realized the equator is like, I don't know. The equator feels like it's like been glued on or something like that. It feels like it's not part of the globe, like it's not painted on. It's just been stuck on there. Let's go back. Spin it again. That's nothing. Okay, one more time. Ow, I hit my hand if you didn't hear it. Ooh. Nope, there's nothing with the Central African country. Alright, this is the last time. Madagascar. Nothing. Exactly on Madagascar, actually. But there was nothing, so we're gonna... So, everyone say goodbye to the globe. Globe, say goodbye. But yeah, that was a globe cameo. That was very interesting, wasn't it? But we're gonna have the next thing happen, which is going to be... Ooh, do I want this right now? Everything is very huge for the world. So I think I'm going to do the one that I think is going to be the least impacting to the world, which is going to be the Egyptian, or the Egyptian-Arabian War. So the Egyptian-Arabian War is going to be exactly what it sounds like. It is going to be the Egyptian country right here going to war with the Arabian country right here. Well, actually, vice versa, because the Arabian country is going to be going to war with the Egyptian country. They're going to be declaring war on them. So either way, they're going to be going to war with each other. But they've declared war on the Egyptian country, which is not good for the Egyptian country. If you didn't know, the Egyptian country is not strong. The even though they have like the Nile River, which like flows down like right here, they aren't that strong. They also have access to the Red Sea and the Mediterranean Sea, but they're still not that strong. The Arabian country is the 11th strongest, and that country, I'm not even sure because it's not in the top 12. But I don't think it's in the top 15 either. Actually, it might be in the top 15. It might be the 15th strongest country now, because it was probably the 16th strongest country until Korea took over Siberia. So they're probably the 15th now, because Korea is now the 14th. And also this country, after it being the 9th and the 6th, or maybe it was the 5th. I gotta go back to my video and see. Part 18 is the last one. The 5th and the 9th strongest countries uniting makes them the 4th strongest country, which means something crazy is going to happen. And it's not going to be a war, but it's something crazy. But that will happen next. Yeah, that will happen next. Even though it's the last thing on my list, it's at the very bottom of my whiteboard, which is very handy because it's good for ideas on YouTube videos. It's good for me just thinking about ideas in general. But yes, it's the 4th strongest country here, up here now. So yeah, that's cool. But yeah, back to this war that we're having. From down here, that's not the right part. They do this. They go across the Red Sea and make a landing, giving them easy access to get to their capital, which helps them easily take over the country, which also helps the Spanish expand. But since their capital is taken over, it's a peace treaty, which means we're going to have the East African country take this right here. Actually, they allow them to take all the way up to here. They allow them to take all the stuff that they had just taken from, because they gave them help to access that part. The Spanish country gets this, and the Arabian country gets the rest, which doesn't look the greatest on the map, but it's all good because it doesn't matter. Now, what we're gonna see now is something that's actually really crazy. Also, I have 50 minutes left to record, and I'm already done with the Egyptian-Arabian War. Which means I'm done with basically, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that I've already done. I think it was 5 things that I've already done. Because there was 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so 5 things I've already done. Which means there's 6 things on my board left to do. We had a cameo of the globe. And I will just talk about what I'm planning on doing in general on YouTube for over the summer, since it's coming up very quickly. I also have finals next week and the week after next. It's not even finals, it's just big testing, state testing, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that's fine. I don't want to do state testing, but the school year's almost over. I am almost to summer break. Also, over summer, I'm going to be going to the gym, because why not? It's something that I have the free time to do, and also, might as well just talk about a lot of it now, and after this part, after this next thing, I'll tell you about it. So, the next thing is, so you know, like the 14th strongest country now, and the 4th strongest country now. If you didn't catch that, these 2 countries, they're going to be unifying, which is kind of crazy, because this makes the, oh yeah, I forgot about this part. It was just, you know, so close in color that I couldn't even tell that they owned it. But this is the Russian unification of the Korean and Russian. At first I had it Korean country and Russian country are going to, and I just dropped the magnet. A magnet. I had it as the Russian country and the Siberian country were going to combine, and then I was like, okay, that seems a little boring and that'd be too quick. So then I made it to where it would be at first the Korean Siberian War, then the I keep calling it the Finnish country, the Scandinavian country and the Russian country combined. Now it's the Russian country and the Korean country, which technically it's the Scandinavian country and the I can't think, Korean country, but that doesn't the Scandinavian country and Korean country unifying, but that's besides the point. 2 of these things have something to do with the Turkish country. One of them has something to do with all countries, which is the worldwide thing, and one of them has something to do for American country, and one of them has something to do with the British country, which basically the last episode was basically the British country's best episode. And now we're gonna see the worldwide military ranking. So yeah, I'm gonna have so much fun ranking every single country when there's basically no room for anything. I really, really, really hope that was not my brother that just got home, but it probably was, and it's not great, because now I don't have to worry about him coming into my room, which he's done that multiple times while I've recorded, but you don't know about that because I cut it out. It's happened a lot to where people just walk in on me recording, because I forget to let people know, hey, I'm gonna be recording. But yeah, so I started putting a sticky note on the outside of my door, which I didn't do, but it's 2 o'clock in the morning, so what's the freaking point? Everyone's asleep. Unless I wake them up by recording, but that's besides the point. That doesn't matter. What does matter is that we are doing a worldwide ranking. Military ranking. So of 21 countries. Out of 21 countries, I think it's 21. We're going to have, we're going to have the ranking through 21 countries. So this actually shouldn't be too long. Because I'm pretty sure we've had a lot of countries be taken over or annexed by other countries. I'm pretty sure it was like 25, literally 2 parts ago. But that's besides the point. Because we're going to have a lot more. Spoiler alert, we're going to have a lot more than 25 countries at the end of this video. But we'll get to that right after I do the worldwide ranking. So yeah, I'm going to cut to me being in this frame right here with all the countries having a number on them. The Sri Lankan country is going to be probably the hardest one. And hopefully, I know that I always talk about hopefully not going over on the, like, not going over borders, because then it just makes it harder, or going over water or whatever. Or not going over, no, not going over the number of how many times I can, undo something with Control Z, or just, the undo button that's on my screen. But that doesn't matter. I'm going to not think about that and have numbers on every single one of these countries. So yeah, I'll see you in literally less than a second, because it's just going to cut with the numbers on it. So as you can see, there's a lot of numbers on this map. Like a lot of numbers. And if there's a number in the ocean, it's the country it's right next to. So 19 and 21. So we're going to go from last place to first place. Or no, let's go to first place. No, let's go last place to first place. So obviously the newest country of Sri Lanka is, it's literally just going to be called Sri Lanka. It's not even a Sri Lankan country, it's just Sri Lanka. The new country of Sri Lanka is going to be the weakest country, which, I mean, makes sense. It's an island. Island countries usually aren't the strongest, especially when they're that small of an island. But, Taiwan at a good 21 as well, being smaller in real life terms, being 21st. I think it's 21st. Strongest military. I don't know. The 20th strongest is going to be the Southwest Asian, which might come to a surprise, even though it's pretty large. It's because of how much it's been beaten over the years by 4 countries. Also, sorry for that 8 being so big. I don't know why, for some reason, 8, whenever I'm writing an 8 with a mouse, I'm pretty sure it's been like this every time. My 8s are usually big. Also, I've been writing on this all day, on the whiteboard all day, so that's been nice. The 19th strongest is the Japanese country. Hold on, I need to take a drink. But like I was saying, the 19th country, the 19th strongest country is the Japanese country. So, because they haven't been really doing much, they've just been sitting there. Kind of like how, the original Arabian country was. It was, just sitting there. But it was still 9th strongest. But if you just sit there now, you're not going to gain that much. You gotta actually be proactive. The 18th strongest is the Great Lake country. The reason why it's only 18th is because, yes, it took over a large chunk of the U.S. military, but they left. A lot of them did. But they still have the Great Lakes, and they still have what used to be the capital of the American country. So 18 is not too half bad. For it being stronger than 2 countries that have been there probably longer than 2 episodes before them. Because I can't remember when the Japanese country came into play. I think it was part 15. I can never remember. It was probably way before that, and I just don't remember. But the Japanese country has been there for a lot longer than this country. This country actually came in part 17, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, that's cool. So that's the top 1, 2, 3, for... No, we still have the next one, which is the Central American country. They're also climbing in the ranks. They were, I'd say probably like 19th strongest, but they are now the 17th strongest, so they've climbed 2 ranks. I was trying to buy time by doing this backwards. So that was the bottom 5. The top 5 you can just see on screen. It's pretty obvious what the top 5 are. If you're worried about this is part of the British. Well, I also have 4 things to do after this, and I still have 30 minutes left. So I'm going to try and take as long as I can doing this. So hopefully you like listening to me talk a lot, which I doubt you do. The 16th strongest country is now the Indian country. How do you go from being 1st to 16th in 4 episodes? Don't know. Stupid decisions. That's all I can say. Is that really how small the capitals are? Gee whiz. Gee whiz. So I'm unk status. I'm not actually an unk, okay? Well, I am technically an uncle, but that's besides the point. I'm not an unk. I'm not at the age of unk. Just because you're older than somebody doesn't mean you're an unk. And there goes my charger. Sorry, I like hitting my desk a lot. But yeah, that's the 16th strongest. The 15th strongest country is the West African country, which was 12th in the last episode. Because of its war with the Spanish country, it, you know, fell in the ranks a little bit, but, like, that's, like, besides the point. The 14th strongest country is the Australian country. Wow, great for them. They're out there living on their own, and still the 14th strongest. I don't remember what they were before the 14th strongest. They might have still been the 14th strongest in the last ranking they were in. I don't fully remember. But the 13th strongest is the South American country, or the Brazilian country, I mean. Because you can't just hold the title as the South American country when there's 2 other countries in your continent. But yeah, the Brazilian country is the 13th strongest. Now, the 12th strongest is... Looking... Did I even put the 12 down? Why can't I find it? I might crash out if I didn't put 12. I know I put a 12, right? There's an 11. Where's the 12? I'm the 12th strongest, apparently. 12th? Why do I keep saying 12th? Like that. 12? 12? 12. I don't know how to say 12. 12th. But that's the 13th, the 17th, 16th, 15th, 14th. What's that? 12th. Where is the 12? Did I forget to put the 12 down? Again. No, I didn't. It's right here. It was just very, 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 very small. It's the Singaporean country. That took me way too long. I'm keeping that in. That entire segment has to stay in because of how funny it was. Because I forgot that I made it so tiny. I could have just wrote it in the water. But the 11th strongest is the, I guess you could say, reformed India. Because, you know, there was like a reformed Great Britain or whatever. Or France. I can't remember. But either way, it's the reformed India. In quotes, reformed India. The 10th strongest, which was previously the 11th strongest, but got in a war today. Not like in real life. I mean, like in Wixo. This part. Not today. This part. Is the Arabian country. So yeah. And the previous 10th strongest is now the 9th strongest, which is the East African country. Now, the 8th strongest is the Chinese country, which stayed the same from its last ranking, which because it didn't change, I don't think, at all. Not a single bit. It hasn't changed any of its borders since the last time we spoke to it, except for obviously the Philippines, but that's a different story. And if you keep hearing me go like this, it's because I don't know why I move my mouth like that. Whoa. But the 7th strongest country is the Germanic country. I think that's how it's said, Germanic. I can never fully remember. But it's the Germanic country. The sixth strongest country is the American country. Wow, yippee, woohoo. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, they're gonna hate what happened in this. So are the British, which, speaking of the British, the Spanish country, just because, yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. Pretty sure they had, like, Gibraltar there, close, they border. They border right now. Sorry, I was yawning. I can never fully remember if the Turkish country borders the Spanish country. Country. But the 5th strongest country is the Spanish country. The 4th strongest country is the Russian country, which is now what I'm going to call it. It's not the Scandinavian country, it's the Russian country, because, I mean, look at it. It looks like the Soviet Union without Europe. And actually Scandinavia, other than Europe. But that's besides the point. I don't know why I talk like that. The British country is the 3rd strongest. That won't be lasting for long. Spoiler alert, again. I'm really bad at doing that. The 2nd strongest country is the Turkish country, which they've been doing a lot lately. Let's just say that. And the strongest country, which it's been for dang near 5 episodes, more than, I'm pretty sure. Let's go back. Let's go back to part 14. My volume is turned down, right? Yeah, part 14. Let me go to a point to where we are doing. Let me seek. Point to where I do a ranking. If I even did a ranking in part 14, I hope I did. I did. If it will load. It is already almost 4 o'clock, but it's not wanting to load. Load. Okay, there we go. I thought I did a ranking. There we go. Okay. No, in part 14, they were 3rd. Part 15, if I go look at the end, I'm pretty sure it was at the end of part 15. No, it wasn't. I don't think I ever did a ranking in part 15. I think it was at the beginning of the video, actually. If I did do one. No, I didn't do one in that video. Because there was a lot happening in part 15. But at least part 16, it was the strongest country. Part 15, I'm pretty sure, actually, because of the war going on in Mesopotamia, losing a lot of land, Actually, I think Mesopotamia was winning until part 16. But I think that's because I changed my mind before part 16 on who was going to win. Which I already know who was going to win. I was like thinking to myself, I said, Mesopotamia has had plot armor for too long. It's time for the Indian country. But then the Indian country has also had plot armor for so long. So then I was like, let's get rid of both countries, and yeah, here we are today. That's just basically my thinking through what was happening. But yeah, I'll talk more on that later, while I do this next thing. Let's erase as much as I can. Whoa, I actually was able to do that? That's staying in the vid, bro. I could go back so far now. They made it infinite, didn't they? Of course they did. That last update was literally 4 days ago, so, I mean, why not? Okay. Alright, well, I guess I don't have to cut out the video, and I actually have enough time to do stuff. So let's go back on my clock. Let's erase worldwide military ranking. It's the first worldwide military ranking, actually. Or maybe it was the second. I think I did another one, like, early, like, part 9. Which is crazy that we've done 20 parts in 10 months, which doesn't seem like that much, but when you think about it, like, part 1, 2, and 3 were, like, in the same month, I think. And then I took a 4-month break, and then I've done part 8 through 18, I'm pretty sure. Part 8 through 18 in a month. That's 10 parts in a month. After doing 3 parts in a month, probably 3 more parts in a month, then another part in a month, and then doing nothing. Because actually, I think part 7 happened in December or November. I can't remember. It was one time that I was just like, I gotta do all this stuff. I think it was actually October, whenever I was like, I'm gonna edit so much stuff, and never did. But I have 23 minutes. This video is very long. But we have the Turkish doing stuff. Speaking of the Turkish, we have them doing stuff. They are doing stuff. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, I think that's what I want, because if I had it at 0... Whoa, that is terrifying. If I had it at 20, if I had it at 47, if I had it at 70, if I had it at 80, if I had it at 100. There we go. Alright. I don't know what I was doing there. I was doing weird. But we're going to see that the Turkish country is going to kind of declare war. They're going to use their enormous wealth that they have. If I still have time after this video, after doing all the stuff that I have, just to make sure that I make it an hour long, which I'm pretty sure it's already going to be an hour long, because I'm going to be recording it for an hour 15, which means I've already recorded for almost, actually it's an hour 15, 3 seconds, because I gave the 3-second timer on the video, but whatever. Actually, longer, so I don't even know. But after this, if I have time left, I will do a top 5 richest countries, richest Wixo countries. Actually, I'll just do the top 10. No, the top 5 richest Wixo countries. But they're going to use some of that wealth that they have to acquire some of the Mediterranean coastline. Now, the Spanish don't want them to. They will not take their money. They were going to plan on taking some of the coastline all the way up until here, but they couldn't because the Spanish were stubborn, and they were like, no, we're not taking any of your money. So they decided to only take from the this country, and now they have that coastline, and which causes a spark in stuff, I guess you could say, to where they actually say, take the rest of this, don't let us border the Spanish. They don't want to border with the Spanish, and here's the reason why. I'll show you right now. They're going to declare war on the Spanish, but they want it up here in this region over here. They don't want it down here, because they're going to retract some of their troops from this way to come up here in this general area. Meant to make it black. In this general area. So they don't want to border Spain down here, because even though they have boats, they don't want to border them because of land. A lot of their troops are down here anyways because of wars happening in Africa. But they declare war on them, and they start taking over the Italian peninsula. Slowly but surely. My eyes are tweaking, bro. telling you, bro. But yeah, they come across here. They take this, and they are slowly. Because I mean, the Italian country used to exist. It was actually a pretty nice country. It was very beautiful. Not like the government, but the scenery there was nice. See, here's the thing. They don't want Spain. They don't want like the country of Spain. They just want more coast, because the more coast they have, the more money they make from trade. So they decide to take over. They wanted this part for a particular reason, so they could have access to the crap, what's it called? What canal is it? The Suez Canal. Whenever I'm editing these videos, it's kind of funny, because I was editing a video earlier, part 17 earlier, and anytime I would say, like, what's the word, I'd say what word it is. Like, part 16, whenever I was editing it, I was like, they're doing, what's the word? I was like, the word is, what was the word now? Now that I'm recording, I can't think of actual words to say. It was retaliate. But I said, what was the word I said? It started with an R, I know that for sure. But either way, it wasn't retaliate, but I know that was the word I was trying to think of. But they are just wanting coastline. Like, I mean, think of the Roman Empire, think of the Ottoman Empire. They wanted coastline because coastline was good for civilization. Right? They don't really need the coastline for civilization, but they do want coastline for trade. Like, if they get over here to this part and they have Sicily, those, to get through the Mediterranean, they need to go through Spain first. And then they need to go through here, which is, going to be controlled, which was controlled by the Spanish, which is why the Spanish would have been in the top 5 if they didn't get all their stuff taken. But they eventually make a landing over here, take this over here, and they actually take all this coastline right here, take from the things again, and they take all the way up to here, and they stop. They say, okay, let us have the rest of our land, or we fully declare war, or we go all in, take over all your stuff with our allies. Now, the Turkish country is allies with the South African country, the West African country. They're allies with every African country, really. They are now just main African countries like the West African, East African, and South African. They weren't allies with the Egyptian country, though. They're good friends with the Arabian country. That's why they allowed them to do that. But they are not good friends with the Spanish country, which is why they're going to war with them. But that's one of many things, because there is a huge thing about to happen. Well, actually, I forgot to say this, but they decide, okay, you can have the rest of what, you can have all that you have taken, just don't come after us, because they're allies with 2 of their biggest enemies. Which, I mean, this isn't really a big enemy of theirs, but this one is a very big enemy. This one are a very big enemy. They aren't really friends, actually. They're not big enemies, but they're friends. They're allies with a lot of their enemies. They're not allies with the British. They're allies with the Germans. They're allies with Turkey, or the Turkish country has a lot of allies. But now we have what I would like to... Let me erase... Where did my marker go? Let me erase all the Turkish stuff. The Spanish-Turkish War ended. For now. This might happen again. I haven't thought about it yet. things happen. They might be, I don't know. I'm planning on going to part 50, but I might go all the way to part 100. That's not what I meant to, but I know that's what I'm going to do eventually. I know all the stuff I'm trying to do, so I could just erase everything and make ideas for part 21 and 22. Shoot, I might start making ideas for part 30 already. I can't remember what I did for part 15. Part 16 was a big video, and part 15 were a big video. They were kind of correlated. But I didn't want part 15 to be too long of a video, because, I mean, halfway to the half of the era, we are starting to get into the era of, I don't know what I'm going to name this era yet, but this is going to be the era of war. After this video, we start the era of war. Crazy that the era of expansion hasn't had all countries that can expand yet without declaring war, because South America still has yet to be expanded into fully. It's the only continent except for Antarctica, but they're not on this map. But yeah, we're gonna see. I'm gonna show you this frame right here, and in a second you're gonna see something crazy. What happened? You're probably wondering. This is what I would like to call the Great American Revolt. 4 countries just revolted. I was wanting 5, but I couldn't find another color that I was comfortable with. And I'm not even sure if this color is able to be used. There used to be a country over here, but the, Brazilian country had to ruin that. Actually, yeah, that's darker. That's good enough. The blue country. Oh wait, the Germanic country and this blue country. Yeah, they don't look too similar. No. Well, didn't realize that, so I'm gonna have to make it lighter, but not too lighter. I can't make it the exact same color as that. I'm gonna have to also move this way. Maybe have it like this. Make it a lot lighter than that. Then, boom! Look at that. We don't have a country that color yet. We have the Caribbean country spawn out of, or the Gulf country spawned out of, not spawned, revolted off of America in Cuba. I can't remember the name of that island. Not Little St. James. The island with the Dominican Republic and the Haiti. I don't know why I said the Haiti. Can't remember the name of it, but I knew it. In Puerto Rico. Basically Mexico is spawned out of where Mexico is. California, and this is going to be the Mexican country, the new one. The Gulf country, Mexican country, Californian country, and Washington country. And if you don't like that, give me name ideas, because I just came up with those on the spot. And yes, if you are, a little blind or whatever, need glasses or whatever, these 2 colors are different, as seen right here. They are different. I've tested. They don't do it. They don't do the thing. But yeah, I have 8 minutes left, and there's one thing I want to do, and maybe, if I have time, a thing I want to do as well. Another thing. So yeah, let's do that. So as you can see, North America looks a lot different. So does a lot of the map, because you don't see as much of this color. The British have been reduced to the British Isles, which basically is what happened after the British Empire fell. So let's go start naming these countries, even though I don't want to. This is the Argentinian country. This right here is the Alaskan country. This is the Canadian country. This is the, what's that? Nunavut country. This is the Greenland country, with Iceland and a little bit of Nunavut. And yeah, Germany took over the rest of their claims in Europe, and yeah. Also, Germany gaining a lot of, expanding into Europe was one of my things on my list. I guess I erased it on accident. Didn't even think about it. I need to clean my board now, so need to do that. Also, we have 2 minutes left in this video, and I still need to do richest country. So I'm going to pause that and then end it after I do the richest country. So yeah, let's get to it. That's not what I want. Alright, so as you can see, you can only see kind of like right off the bat, you can only see 1, 3, 5. Then when you look around, you see 4 down here in the Singaporean country. But that's because 2 is, here, over here in the UK. The UK is still very rich, even though they just lost all their stuff. They have yet to spend all their money. Having to give aid. They took all their money away from them. So they are having to, all those countries, they didn't take all their money, but they were very rich. But they still are very rich. So here's the reason for all these countries being as rich as they are. Then I end off this very long episode. So the reason the Turkish country is so large is because they have a ton of coastline, which is good for the economy. The Caspian Sea and the Black Sea. So they have the Mediterranean Sea, the Caspian Sea, and the Black Sea. Well, the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea fully under their control, and the Mediterranean Sea, like, they have a lot of it under control. The reason for I don't know why I said "for" like that. The reason for the British country is because they had so much access to very good trade routes overseas. So yeah, that's why they were so rich. They're not going to be that rich here soon, though. The third richest is because of oil. There's a lot of oil in... I said oil, very weird. Oil. I sound like a... I don't know. I'm getting very tired. My eyes are closed halfway. But the reason that Russia is such a rich country is because of all the oil there. The reason why the Arabian country is not as rich, because they have a lot of oil. Also, this country needs to expand sometimes, sooner or later. It's because they haven't found it yet, that's why. And the fourth strongest is here because of the Malacca Strait. I mean, get it right here. They got to go through here to get to India if they want to cut it short. Right here, they allow this country to get through there if they want to get people over to this side very quickly rather than by cars. The Japanese country, the Russian country, which that's not where it is. This country, they can do that, but if they want to get from over here, they go through here, which makes them a lot of money. And the reason for the Spanish is because right here, the Gibraltar Strait, they own that. They own over here in the American country. Over here where the American country used to, be. Yeah, there. And yeah, that's the reason for the top 5. So that's cool. Let me do the outro before I fall asleep in the middle of recording. So, yeah. Thanks for watching this extremely long video. Hopefully you made it to the end. If you made it to the end, let me know by saying I made it to the end with a, with those, no, let's do, I made it to the end with a purple heart emoji. I think there's a purple heart emoji. Because purple's my favorite color. I made it to the end with purple heart emoji telling me that you made it to the end. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, thanks for watching. Wait, no. If you did enjoy this video, like and subscribe. Yeah, you could tell I'm very tired. I just said, if you enjoy this video, thanks for watching. I skipped a couple parts. But if you did enjoy this video, like and subscribe. I'm very close to 2K. I'm trying to hit it before the end of the year. On screen now, you can see the Wixo series. My channel and a video YouTube thinks is best for you. Thanks for watching, and God bless.